Hello everyone and happy spring dreaming. In today's video we're going to be doing some spring and Easter crafting and decorating on a budget, as always using Dollar Tree, thrift store, and whatever I have gathered along the way. So if you guys love that, definitely subscribe to this YouTube channel. Now this is another episode in my huge I Love Spring series. You guys, I love to decorate and go over the top for every single season. I hope you guys can gather some ideas for your home and to have how to make it gorgeous on a budget. Check out the rest of the I Love Spring series. I'm going to link it for you in the description box below. I have a candle giveaway for you guys. I'm going to announce this weekend, so listen to that secret question. Now if you guys love to craft and decorate, go ahead and plug in those glue guns, get out your glitter and paint, and let's get to crafting. For the first Dollar Tree DIY, we're going to do a super adorable spring basket. I'm going to use this cute little pink Dollar Tree organizing basket and some burlap. So I'm just taking the burlap and I'm weaving it in and out through the little holes in the basket. Now, if you don't have the burlap, you could always use pretty much any ribbon that you have on hand. Or another idea that I have used before is to just cut some fabric strips in whatever colors you love and weave the fabric strips through the basket, so you guys can really get creative and make this your own. And if you don't have this basket, that's okay too. Dollar Tree will be setting out all different colors of baskets. You don't necessarily have to use this pink basket. So again, just get creative and make it your own. Now I thought it looked super adorable with just the first layer of burlap, but I love to go super extra as always, and I decided to weave burlap through the entire basket, which made the task a little bit tedious, but by the end I was pretty happy with the outcome. So just continue to cut strips of burlap or fabric or ribbon, whatever you have on hand, weave it through your little basket, and you're going to make it look really kind of cute and high end. And in my opinion, this looked kind of like shabby chic, gave it like a little bit of a vintage flair. And again, this pink basket is from Dollar Tree and the burlap is from burlapfabric.com. You guys can really get burlap pretty much anywhere though. You can get it at Walmart or your craft store or whatever floats your boat, or you can just cut some cute little strips of fabric. So have fun with it, get creative, and go for it. Now here is how my cute little basket looked once it was all finished, and I decided to poke some holes in it. Now don't panic, this is actually going to go outside of my house in my little pinkish white bike, and I really don't want it to fill up with water because I am going to do a floral inside of it. So this is kind of like part 2 of this video, and that's Bingy Bear you guys might hear in the background. So I'm taking one of these cocoa baskets from Dollar Tree and I'm also poking holes in it. Now I would think that like the water would kind of go through this, but I just wanted to make double sure because we are going to be getting a lot of rain in the month of March, April, and so I just want to make sure that the rain is able to kind of drain through here. Now to secure the foam down inside of the cocoa basket, I decided to take 2 shish kebab sticks because I didn't really feel like the foam would hot glue very well to the cocoa basket, and I also wanted it to be kind of windproof, so I used the shish kebab sticks to kind of skewer the piece of foam down inside of the basket. So these are just shish kebab sticks from the grocery store. You guys can probably find them at Dollar Tree in the kitchen section. The next thing I want to do is take some cute little Dollar Tree florals and pop them into my basket. So this is kind of part 2 of this DIY, is creating a cute little floral arrangement. Now if you wanted to start with just the basket part, you guys could use that little basket for anything under the sun, but again I'm going to go ahead and do this as a floral arrangement to pop outside. I have a really cute little bike, and so I've done several different kind of florals in my bike, and I've always used a tin, and the tin always gets kind of rusty, so I thought using a plastic container might actually work better and hopefully be a little bit more weatherproof. So these are just florals that I picked up from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just using kind of the cascading wisteria. I used a pretty little tall flower in the center, and then I'm using like some little lilacs and some roses and some of these little spring berries. So I just wanted to make it look really springy and festive and Easter. So actually for these DIYs, I'm going to end up putting all of them outside of my house. Surprisingly enough, last week we were completely snowed in. It was so cold we couldn't go outside practically. This week it is actually in the 50s and 60s. So I'm taking advantage of this time, and I'm going to start my Easter spring decorating outside of my home. Usually I always start inside, like on my mantle or in my dining room, but this time I just could not resist the beautiful weather. And I do have two other little cute roses that I'm going to pop into the center of this. So this is just kind of like a little hack for creating florals. If you guys like kind of big over the top florals, is to use some more inexpensive flowers and then put just a couple of more high-end flowers sprinkled in your arrangement. And that way you don't have to spend like loads of money on a ton of really expensive flowers. The other thing I decided to pop into my cute little springtime arrangement was just some Dollar Tree speckled eggs, and that gave it really just kind of like some little Easter goodness. So have fun with it, get creative. The other thing is, a lot of you guys ask me what I do with my florals after the end of the season. I generally take them apart and then kind of rework everything. So here it is, popped into my cute little outdoor bike. You can see it. There's a little bit of wind, but look at that beautiful sunshine. It just made me so happy to feel the little bit of wind on my skin and the sun on my face. And then there's my pretty little spring flowers are popping out on the ground. And then there's Benji Bear saying hello to you all. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you all how to create a super adorable spring bonnet or spring hat. So you're going to take one of those little hats from the Dollar Tree, and then I'm just going to take and make a quick little Olivia bow. This is just kind of what I call this bow for reference, but you're just going to take and loop the ribbon over on itself about 3 to 4 times, and then pinch it in the center and then trim it off. And then I'm going to take a pipe cleaner, and I'm just going to twist the pipe cleaner together, and that is going to secure my bow. And then the next thing I want to do is just fluffy out all of the little edges. And I did make this bow small enough to kind of fit on here, but large enough to kind of make it almost look like it could be kind of like a wreath, I guess, or just like a door hanger. I think these are so fun to do. I used to make these for my family when I was like a teenager. My grandma would save them and hang them all over her wall. I used to love to like make little hat wreaths. But anyway, you can take your pipe cleaner and just string it through the little Dollar Tree bonnet. It has like little holes in it that make it big enough to be able to pop that through, and then give it a bit of a fluffing. And then really you can add pretty much any floral or greenery that you want to. Now when I'm making a kind of floral arrangement, I always want to add my greenery first. And also don't forget to dovetail your ends, and that just means cutting a little triangle at the end of your ribbon. So you want to take, and for this I'm going to also make some tails. So I'm just taking some of the extra ribbon, I'm going to twist it to where both of the pretty sides are out, and then just tuck it gently up underneath the little bonnet, and then pop that ribbon underneath there. Be careful not to glue your fingers together. I got a lot of glue on my fingers today, but then see how I'm just taking the ribbon and I am cutting a little triangle in an upwards direction. So you just fold it in half, and so I'm going to fold it in half and then cut upwards. Always try to cut upwards, that way the scissor is moving away from your hand. If you cut in a downward motion, you could cut yourself. So that's just a little tip from me to you. Always cut upward and away from yourself. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is hot glue some greenery onto my hat, and that is just some pretty greenery that I picked up, I think from Michael's years ago. It's in my craft stash. Again, I repurpose and reuse everything pretty much every year, and then I will pick up some new things at the beginning of the season. I did add a pretty little rose into the center of my bow just to give it some nice little sparkle and shine and romance to my cute little bonnet. And then I'm just adding in some more lilacs and some beautiful florals to really jazz things up a bit. So here is how it turned out. I hung it next to my front door, and just a little close-up of how it turned out with the little cute little speckled eggs from Dollar Tree that I popped in there and the pretty blooming flowers. Oh, so ready for a spring sunshine time. Now for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you all how you can take apart one of the hanging Dollar Tree signs and make it into more of a banner. So they have this in store right now. It's just a little hanging Happy Easter sign. I pulled it apart, which is super easy to do, and then I'm just going to use a piece of this kind of nautical rope from Dollar Tree as well, and then I'm just going to hot glue the little eggs to the heavier duty piece of rope. My idea for this is to create like a little hanging banner to hang on the outside of my bike, and that way, or my little bike basket, but so that's just an idea for you guys. I know the hanging signs are really cute, but I needed to hang a different direction. Now to cover up that little hole in the center, I'm going to just take and make a quick little shoelace bow. So a shoelace bow is you just tie it like you'd be tying your shoelaces, and then I'm going to hot glue it to the top part of the Happy Easter little sign. And this was like such an easy, fun craft. Now the next thing I want to do is take some Scotch Guard. I ordered this off Amazon. I'll link some in my Amazon store in the description box below for you guys, but I think you can probably get it at most stores. And I Scotch Guarded the outside of it, so hopefully it will stay a little bit more weatherproof. And then I'm just going to wrap it on my bike basket and tie it on to either handle. And then I just thought this was such a cute idea. One thing I do have a hard time with in my outdoor decor is we do live on top of a hill, and so the wind really likes to whip my decorations around. And so when I hang one of the Dollar Tree signs from this basket, it always ends up getting like whipped around. So hopefully I'm gathering this really tight that this is going to be a viable, great option for how to get this to hold on well. Now for the next DIY, I want to share with y'all how to make a very, very simple bow. We're just going to take some Dollar Tree wired ribbon, and you're going to take and loop the ribbon over on itself. And I slowed this down really good for everybody that's maybe never made this simple bow. And this is what I call the Olivia bow. If you guys are new, this is probably my most favorite bow to make. And if you guys have made this bow over and over, yay. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut off a tail for this bow, and this is also going to wrap onto my little bike here. You might hear my little puppy dog in the background for this video. He is being very playful today. So the next thing I want to do is take that extra part with the tail, and you can also tie the center of the loopy bow off if you're not able to hold it, maybe a problem with your hands, but you can also just take this tail and tie the tail on the center by knotting it right here in the center. And that's just kind of a little hack if you're in a hurry and you just need to make like a really quick little bow. This is like the easiest, quickest little bow you guys could ever make. And this is a Dollar Tree bow, and it's going to come out really cute. There's no tools involved, and if you use wired ribbon, your little loops,
as long as you fluff them out really nicely, they're going to stand up really well. Now don't forget to dovetail your ends by taking the ribbon, folding it in half, and then cutting in an upwards direction. Always try to cut upwards, away from yourself and away from your hands. And then there you have that, a super easy, adorable bow on a budget. It cost you $1. You didn't even need any wire or hot glue or anything like that. And so here is how this all looks put together outside in my little bike for springtime. I think it's so festive and happy, and I have little neighbor kids that always kind of stop by my house to say hey and to say hi to Benji Bear, and so I just thought this would make them smile, and it just brightens up my front yard. Definitely what we need after all these long winter months. For the next DIY, I want to share with y'all how to make a super adorable spring Easter wreath, and we're going to start out actually with this evergreen wreath base and a roll of Dollar Tree deco mesh, and I'm just taking the deco mesh and I'm crisscrossing the evergreen branches over on the deco mesh. Now you guys could use a Dollar Tree wire wreath form and just take your deco mesh and make the little bundles. That would work too, but I didn't have actually a wreath form on hand, believe it or not. But I did have this evergreen wreath form on hand. So if you guys have any old Christmas wreaths laying around, this might be the perfect opportunity to repurpose and reuse your Christmas wreath. So again, I'm just taking my deco mesh and I'm making like little 8 to 12 inch poofs, crossing them over on themselves, and then moving on to the next section. The next thing I wanted to add was some burlap. I feel like burlap is such a fun thing to use in springtime. And so again, I'm just using the same idea as I did with the deco mesh. I'm just kind of crisscrossing it over the spaces where I didn't have any pink mesh. So I'm just using some burlap and I'm crossing the evergreen branches over on themselves. Not a huge rhyme or reason to how I'm doing this, just kind of trying to cover some of the evergreen. So here is what the wreath looks like after I have added some deco mesh and some burlap. Now the next thing I'm going to do is add this cute little Easter bunny Dollar Tree sign to the center of my wreath. Now I will tell you guys that I was only able to find this Easter sign and then like a round bunny egg sign for signs this year at Dollar Tree. I'm not sure if our store didn't get them in or if maybe I missed the boat, which is completely could be the case with all the snow and ice. I didn't get out much at all. So anyway, I'm just taking a pipe cleaner and I'm hot gluing this pipe cleaner to the back of my sign. I'm just using a Dollar Tree tag to put on top of that to get that to stay on. And that's just a little sign hack that I have for you guys, is to add a pipe cleaner to the back and you can try it directly onto your wreath and it'll look like it's floating. So the next thing I want to do is just use some purple mesh and kind of create some bundles. I wanted to add in some purple color to this wreath. There's so many colors going on my little sign. I just felt like it needed a little bit more color. So I'm making really large bundles, and I'm just going to say just fill your hand. So this is like a fill your hand bundle. You could take and make smaller bundles if you wanted, but I was kind of just wanting to like really throw some mesh at this, and so I wasn't being like super particular on it. The next thing I want to do is for this one, I want to use my Easy Bow Maker and some of this really cute pink buffalo check plaid ribbon, and I'm going to make a cute little bow. So I'm just going to go back and forth. This is going to be about an 8-inch bow if you're using an Easy Bow Maker, or you could just make a cute little Olivia bow. And then I'm going to add in this Dollar Tree egg ribbon. And again, I'm just doing one loop of each ribbon on here. Also, though, still trying to get in all the colors that are in this cute and adorable little sign. And then last but not least, I did add in this pretty turquoise ribbon, and I did pick this up at Michael's. So I know it can be difficult to find seasonal ribbon at Dollar Tree. I know some of you all have been posting in my Livy's Romantic Home Facebook group page that Walmart has out some Easter ribbon, so definitely check there. And also, again, like your Michael's or Hobby Lobby, you may find some cute little ribbon there as well. So I'm just going to take and tie this off in the center now with a pipe cleaner, and then here is what that bow looks like. And also, when you're working with like a mesh wreath or a wreath that's like an evergreen wreath, you want to make your bow kind of fluffy and large. That way, because the bow is going to kind of sink down into your wreath. So that's just a little tip, so you can pull your loops out and have plenty of ribbon. When I first started doing these wreaths, I would make my bows kind of small, and then I would lose like a lot of ribbon down inside of there. So fluffy up your bow and make it nice and pretty. And then the other thing is I did make 2 of these bows. Kind of, I like to put one on the top and then one kind of catty corner to the bottom on the other side. Don't forget to dovetail those ends, make the ends of your ribbon nice and pretty, and just really have fun with it and get creative. So here's bow number 2, and bow number 2 is just like the first bow. So it's super easy. Again, use your Easy Bow Maker, or you can make an Olivia bow, and I do have a bow video linked down in the description box of my YouTube video. Now give it a nice good fluff-a-duff, pull those loops out, fluff them around. That's really going to be the secret to your bow. Also, the secret is to use wired ribbon as much as you can. The next thing I want to do is take some of those little hanging eggs and put some little pipe cleaners on the back, and then I'm going to attach those into the wreath. You could also take some of your extra ribbon and push that into the wreath to kind of fill it out just a little bit. And I did end up making like kind of some more loopy bows to fill it out even more. I just love tons of bows. I think they look so pretty. It's just my thing, and it's just so happy. And so really, you guys, however many bows you like, I think that's what you guys should use. I like tons of bows, so I usually ended up adding about 3 to 4 to 5 bows. And then here I'm just adding in some of those cute little eggs. And again, the eggs are from the hanging signs on Dollar Tree, from Dollar Tree. I just love to take them apart, and then that way they're so easy to pop into pretty much any wreath. And then the next thing you might want to think about if you want to continue to add to a wreath like this is to put in some florals. So again, I had some spring florals in my little craft stash. I believe these came from Hobby Lobby, like in a bundle, and I just cut them all apart. No, actually, I'm sorry, these came from Walmart. So these were from Walmart, but they came like in, 5 or 6 were on the bundle of flowers. And so now I'm just hot gluing them into my wreath, because I am most likely going to use this outside, and so I want it to stay really well. And then I also wanted to add one of those cute little Dollar Tree Easter bunny heads to the top. And so I think it's coming out rather nicely. I did end up adding like some little berries up to the top and then down at the bottom, and again, a little bit more bows. Now remember, I told you guys at the beginning of this video that there would be a secret question in this video. So here's the secret question. What is the first flower or tree or plant in your yard or garden or outside of your home that blooms. So for me, it's going to be those little irises and daylilies that you're going to see popping up out of the ground that I'm sharing pictures with you guys of. Those are the first things that come out. And then I have a tree that's a redbud tree in my front yard that's so beautiful. It actually has like pinkish purple blooms, which is so perfect for my front yard. I can't wait to share that with you guys as well. And then also comment and let me know what was your favorite DIY in this video and which one will you be recreating. I just love to hear what you guys are up to, what you're interested in crafting, and I just love y'all so much, and I want to encourage you guys to keep up the good work, just crafting and decorating and having fun. And don't forget to join me over on my group page and on Facebook, and that way you guys can share photos of your Easter wreaths and home decor. And again, it's just a blessing and honor to have you guys here.
Thank you all so much for joining me on another fun and fabulous crafting and decorating adventure. You guys, it is a true blessing and an honor to have you all here. I hope you guys are inspired to craft and decorate and make your home fabulous on a budget. If you are new, welcome. I am Olivia with Olivia's Romantic Home, and I am a DIY crafty mama, and I just love to share with you guys all my fun projects around my little home, and hopefully you guys can get some ideas. Now remember, you can always customize these projects to suit your home decor by changing up the paint, the ribbons, and whatnot. I love y'all to the moon and back. I can't wait for our next video. Listen, if you want to join me over my Facebook page, I do post videos daily to keep you guys energized, crafting and decorating. And a lot of you all say that my videos help you guys like fall asleep or with some anxiety or depression. So hey, if that is helping you guys, let's have more fun. So pop over to my Facebook page and join me over there. I'd love to see y'all over there. And if you want to post photos and be even more inspired by not only myself, but other crazy crafters and decorators, I have Olivia's Romantic Home Facebook group page. It's just for everybody out there that's crafting and decorating. You guys can post photos of home decor and DIY projects over there. So I'd love to have you guys join me. It's totally free. I also have an Instagram page. I share a good morning cup of coffee with you guys every morning because I'm a total morning person. And then I share like BINGE bear and just sneak peeks of my DIY projects on Instagram. I have a TikTok too. I'm trying, y'all. So thank you guys again for being here. I have a really fun season coming up for you. I can't wait. But until then, remember, be kind to yourselves, be kind to one another, and we'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye-bye.